Go crazy. Go crazy. Go crazy. Go crazy. Go crazy. All the way from the old to LA. Go crazy like a dum-dum. Eastside homeboy where I come from. Dance on the floor till you go numb. No fighting, no hating, no red rum. This is O City. All the way to the bay. Hit the bass, feel me. Catch a case cause it's beating up yo Chevy. Get you moving side to side, getting all sweaty. Make it work it out. Turn the volume up loud. It's a draw crowd. Make it all shout. Go crazy. All the way from the O to LA. Hit play on the track and I'm ready. Like a quarterback, Tom Brady. Catch it all in the frenzy. Go crazy. Go crazy. Go crazy. All the way from the O to LA. Go crazy. Go crazy. Go crazy. All the way from the O to LA. Go crazy. Go crazy. Go crazy. All the way from the O to LA. Go crazy. Go crazy. All the way from the O to
I'm failing already. I'm not starting off right. I cannot get this video to share to my page. I've shared it back to the Scoop page twice now. So I'm going to try that again in about 30 seconds. What's up, everybody? It is time for another Scoop Show. We are so glad that you have decided to slide on in and hang out with us for the next few minutes. Because we have a really, really great show planned for you guys. If you caught the video earlier, you will recognize that tonight's topics kind of all mesh and meld together in one way or another. So we're going to have a very entertaining conversation as well as hopefully an enlightening one as well. So glad that you decided to tune in on this evening. If you are new here, we would like for you to get very comfortable because we family around these parts. Okay, if you can't tell already, we this is a very comfy, chill, if anything, business casual to the third power, okay, around here at the Scoop. We are going to talk about it all and have a good time while doing it. And we want you to feel comfortable as well. So if you would please go ahead and get comfy with that comment section and drop where you are repping from. What's your city? What's your state? So we can say what's up to you and give you that good old shout out like our good sis Latoya Rose just did. Tulsa in the house. What's up, Tulsa? Hey, Shanae, what's up, sis? Good to see you. So thank you for being timely because my share situation is trash today. So apologies for not needing the tag. I mean, yeah, good job. So after you go ahead and hit that comment section with your city and state, please go ahead and hit that share button. Let your people know, okay, where you will be for the next few minutes. Tell them that this is if you scrolling, stop scrolling. Okay, scroll and stop right here at the Scoop because this is where the conversation will be. If you want to be entertained for a good little minute, tune in right here. Okay. Aside from that, if you are not able to catch the live show, if this is a happenstance that we happen to catch you able to scroll through on this fine Tuesday evening, we implore you and we invite you to watch our replays that we play on. They're always available, and we're also live streaming on YouTube, and we also share posts and conversations on Instagram. So you can follow us on all three of these platforms by hitting us up and hitting the bells and the likes and the follows and the thumbs and all of the things via YouTube at The Scoop Show, on Facebook at Real Scoop Show, and on Instagram at The Scoop Radio Show. Y'all, this Raspy got my ad voice on tonight. We're going to have fun on this evening. I just know that on The Scoop Show. I got it's effortless this evening. I'm with it. Hey, what's going on? City in the house. Yes. But after you have liked us and after you have shared us and after you have dropped your city and state in the comment section, just get ready for a good old conversation. Okay. And welcome again to the scoop. Win, my good brother, how are you?
I'm good. I told you they tried to lock me up today. They won't let me out. They won't let me out.
Oh, you have had an eventful day. Retrograde has started though too, so you know it's par for the course. I forgot to say that when we was on the phone earlier. It is we
Okay.
are in retrograde, so you know.
Yeah. Other than that, it's been a good day. Been a really good day, actually. I'm glad to be here. Glad that we got this good conversation coming. So yeah, absolutely. How you doing?
I am awesome. I am doing very well today. I am doing my best to share this post to my page. I do not know why it's not happening. Like it's that is vexing me right now. It keeps sharing back, it's looping, going back to the scoop. I don't understand. I don't know. I keep going back to my page and looking, going back to my page, it's not there. So
You have a bunch of them in there.
yeah, I'm gonna have to go back and delete. I apologize in advance, y'all. They're gonna be like, she really wants us to watch
She
this
really
every
want
night.
to
I
watch
do. I do. I really,
it.
really, really want you to watch.
You really want to make sure we ain't missed this, huh? Okay.
Not a thing. Not a thing.
All right.
But yeah, I'm doing really well. Excited for tonight.
Yeah,
Per use. Per
that's
use.
what's up. That is what's up. Well, I'm excited about tonight too. We got a lot going on, a lot of good conversation, um, a lot of hot topics. So y'all make sure y'all stay with us. Y'all keep this conversation going. And as always, like Q said, this is a interactive show. So y'all make sure you put your comments. Y'all keep commenting throughout the show. So um, yeah. So you ready to get this?
Thank you, Ebony. You girl, you know I can't never remember your name. So I was like, oh, City in the house. You and this name change. Thank you. She had to say Ebony. She knew I couldn't figure it out.
You know who it was. So I'm like, I was trying to figure out how did she come up with this name this
Now
time.
that she's typed it, like it makes all the sense. But I was not. Since I done rebooted by the time we get on the show, I can't keep up. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, it didn't. It didn't to make. Okay, I didn't catch Ebony out of,
I
but
just
no, we,
did it again.
but
Lord
no,
have
we.
mercy.
So, all right, let's jump into these topics. Of course,
I
tonight,
just can't participate tonight because I'm through. I'm not fooling with that phone.
let me share it to your page, please. Uh, of course, y'all know hot topics are brought to you by Bob Shamrock. Bob Shamrock, which is black-owned business. That's what Bob stands for. Bob Shamrock is the black-owned gas station at 2901 Northwest 10th Street in Oklahoma City, across from the fairgrounds. Again, that's 2901 Northwest 10th Street in Oklahoma City, where you can pull up and fill up your gas tank and fill up your stomach by going inside and getting some of that wonderful and amazing food that they have inside of Bob Shamrock. So go visit them again at 2901 Northwest 10th Street in Oklahoma City, across from the fairgrounds. And tell them your school fam sent you.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Running from these little boys, okay? All right, let's go ahead and jump into these hot topics. First one is sad. It's a little sad, of course. So last week, I'm sure everyone heard, we lost Ezel.
Yeah.
So last week we lost Ezel, AJ Johnson, the actor. But this post is about his GoFundMe account. So because he passed, his wife put up a GoFundMe account, and his wife, the short version was very disappointed that he didn't get more donations. So just wanted to have a conversation about why we don't prepare better, how we can prepare better about with this, because I think in um, most people estimation, which is not, I'm not gonna say it's right or wrong, I have my opinion. Um, but think that because he was an actor, he should have had his money. He should have had his stuff together and, whatnot. So we all should have our stuff together. But
Mm-hmm.
nevertheless, what are your thoughts?
So yeah, I remember. Yeah, this is sad. I do hate one that he has passed away. That is very young to be passing away. And I think that it is sad that his family is going through this. With all of that being said, I cannot help but feel kind of the same way. Like, this should not be necessary. I understand, not to this degree. And I absolutely would not want my spouse to be online fussing at people for not donating to my GoFundMe. Like, so I would hope that situations such as this would give us a kick in the pants, because if we can talk about folks with all this, we talk about everybody, but I mean, like, when it's LaGayla made a very good point. Like, when it's $6 a month to be able to get very basic, to put you in the ground, it does not cost much to put you in the ground, to get you in the ground, so your people don't have to be doing this for you. But I think I don't think the GoFundMe was as much as the shocker as the fact that she went so hard on people for not donating to the GoFundMe. That's the real, like, girl, bye. Like, stop that. You know what I mean? That none of those things that you went on and on about have anything to do with all of this other. So, that's kind of where I checked out. Like, okay, sis.
Yeah, it was almost to me like the expectation. Like, it was an expectation. Like, again, not saying that people shouldn't give or anything like that, but I think to the expectation that because that he was famous, or that they would, like, that's just not reality. The reality is you can't depend on that, and so we should let people recognize that you got to take care of your own home. You got to take care of your own family. That's not something that anybody else is has the responsibility of doing for you. So now, eventually, from my understanding, people did.
Mm-hmm.
There were a few celebrity actors and friends who wound up paying for it. But again, I think it's the expectation that a person does. And to your point, it is not. And I don't know if he had pre-existing conditions or anything like that, but if he did, it might have been a little more expensive. But still, at the end of the day, get some life insurance or have some type of plan in place that you can bury yourself.
Yeah.
That's just this. I think this idea that I don't want to buy life insurance so the people behind me can have money to spend, which is a lot of the way we think. Is we've got to get rid of that.
And why we don't have wealth in our communities. One of the main reasons.
Yeah, because I don't think we recognize, number one, like, life insurance passes to people without being taxed. So you are hurting your children and your family, and again, in your generations after. So now people coming after you should be able to live well. I don't want my woman living with another man with my money. Bruh, let it go. Ma'am, let it go.
You gone. You won't care. You really won't care. You really won't care.
Let it go. Like, we got to do better. So yeah, so I wanted to bring that up because I think this is a wonderful opportunity to remind us, first of all, a great man has passed, and so we definitely, send our condolences to his family, but then also we got to take care of our business better. We got to make sure that, my thing, if you love somebody, you would not want to leave them in the position where they have to fight over and ask other people. We've all been to the funeral.
Mm-hmm. Yes,
where they were taking collections, because if they didn't, again, at some point we got to shift to saying we want to put people in a position, like you said, to get some wealth from this.
Yep.
Wouldn't it be nice for your children's college to be paid and not have to worry about it?
Yeah. And you are right. You should not want to stress your family out after you pass away. Like, facts.
Absolutely. So, and then last one, I'll get off my soapbox. I understand that this is a difficult conversation to have, but we got to have it. We got to have the conversation as to what people's wishes are, what people have, what people don't have, so that we can plan for this. Again, we should not, Monty is right, you should not stress out your family after you pass away. You should leave them better off.
Mm-hmm.
Period.
Yep.
Off soapbox. All right. Next. Oh shoot, hold on. Whoops, wrong button. I love when I press the wrong button.
Mm. I am too tickled this evening.
You blank suck at showing you care. No paragraphs, no roses, no surprise dates, nothing but disappointments. He responds, well, Butterfly said that. That's what he said. Butterfly next to him. Then the kid, Gowie, okay, whatever. He said his reply is, we definitely do these things, but y'all expect it too often. All these things hit differently when it's rare, so we keep it that way. If we did them too often, it would become a nuisance because you start expecting it, making it more of a job than a form of admiration. Stoutsky.
He's got a point. I really don't see. I agree. To an extent, there is a space between rare and too often that I think is a comfortable spot to hit to keep everyone at a you can't even specify that, to keep the average person at a level of confidence in the fact that we are where we're supposed to be romantically. I know for a lot of women, we don't want it all the time, like every day, or every Saturday. I know he's gonna do da 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 da, because at some point it does lose its luster, especially if it is not followed up with the other things that make that thing special. And I think it's a lot to expect someone to show up with the same bells and whistles every time, like when it's scheduled that way. So I can see where he's going with that. At the same time, I think that it's interesting how other people get to tell. And I think there was another comment on the post that was similar to this, but it's hard for me to really get behind folks capping other people's cups. If you don't have the capacity or don't desire to create the capacity to fill a cup that is larger than others for certain things, then that should not be a diss to the cup. That just means that's not your cup. And I don't think that's necessarily a bad thing to say. That might not be the cup for me, or that now you need to not get your cup all the way filled up just because I don't feel like filling it up, because I think that's too much for your cup. If you know what I mean? So that's kind of how that's kind of how that also translates. Like, I know because it's happened or I've seen it before. If I do this too much, it's going to be too much. I don't really think that's something for you to decide. If you're doing with the right intentions, and you actually are doing it where it's in alignment with all of the other things that you're doing as far as how you love that woman, I don't think it's going to wear off. I think when you do it and it becomes repetition and that's the only thing that you do to show that you care for me, then that's like when I know you cheating but you still send me roses every Tuesday. Like, bruh, what? Is this just what you do? Are you really sending these roses, or is this just an idle thing? You know what I mean? Like, you start to think these things. That's what I mean by your actions have to align with all of the other things in the relationship. We sometimes forget that you buying things doesn't always mean that everything is great. So, and a lot of times that's where we hear, well, I do this, I do that, I took you there, I bought those things, and that cost this amount of dollars. Yeah, but you talk crazy to me and you tell me, you talk crazy at me when we out at places, and you embarrass me because, you tell everybody how much money you spending, and that, you know what I mean? Like, you hear some stories about these women who look like they live the most beautiful life ever. And then you get them behind closed doors and they really tell you the details. And they're like, this is not, you could have all of this ish. If I could just have a man that was sweet, like really genuinely sweet to me. You know what I mean? So this all has there's curves and twists to this.
Yeah. Yeah. So yes, I agree. There's very much so curves and twists to this. I think that, to me, I always feel like, what was the expectation going in? Because, and was this expectation communicated? In the sense that, like, if you start dating a person, a man, and he's not doing these at all, and there has been no communication to these are the things that you like, and there's been no change, like he hasn't started doing them, then we have allowed this to be the expectation that these things will not occur. Not saying that again that you shouldn't do it because it hasn't been communicated, but there are some people who if you don't know what the person has, like you don't know what the standard is where I'm going. So are these things a standard in your relationship? Are these things a standard in things that what you need to feel loved well? Because I think in general, from a male perspective, sometimes we think like these are just things that we do, not realizing she might not even like these things. So that's one part of it. I think the other part of it that I think I thought about was I agree with him that doing it too much can become a nuisance and make you feel more of a job than a form of admiration. I do, however, wonder, to me, a man who says that sounds to me like a man who doesn't feel like that what he is receiving, that he's receiving the same type of
It hasn't been reciprocated. Yep.
Things, from a reciprocal standpoint. So because when you do, you don't mind.
It's fun to come up with new ways to show your person when you're getting it back. Agree.
Yeah, you don't mind. So does he feel like are you in relationships where you don't feel like that? Because to me, it's when you're loved well, it's like, man, last time I did this. What can I do better? What can I, because you're excited about it, because you recognize that, to his point, that this is not a job, that I want to do something to make you realize how I feel. So I don't know, it is a lot of thoughts. Your thoughts, what I thought, the things I just shared. I also thought about, also thought like a paragraph is not that big of a deal, dude. Like for real, it's a paragraph. That's why I'm like, a paragraph, like you can do that a couple times a week, and come on, way too. But the flip side of that is I also get, like if you've been with somebody for a long time, even we've talked about it before, where even good morning texts, after a while, you got to come up with a new way to say good morning, because you were like, I done said this good morning. I done said good morning, beautiful. She done heard good morning, beautiful for the last 12 years. Like, I got to find something different besides good morning, beautiful. You know what I mean? Beautiful to her, or I hope your day is going, even though she appreciates it, it doesn't have the same luster to it as it did when you.
I don't know. It depends on who's sending that good morning. Like if he makes you blush from the inside out, you can say good morning, baby, the same way every day, and I probably wouldn't care. But I understand, not taking away from what you're saying, but like I think that's one of those things. Like if the sight of your person, if the mention of your person gives you butterflies, like when you wake up and you roll over and you see that phone and it's, hey, good morning, baby. You literally hear their voice saying good morning, baby. You know what I mean? So like if that is what you wishing you rolling over to, and you roll over and you see that, like, yeah, you good. You ain't got to try that hard for the good mornings. Like put the effort somewhere else. Like, cause I'm just saying, if the woman is spending a whole lot of time on you not being creative on the good morning, sis is doing too much. Okay. I
agree. That's what I just said. Yeah. But I can see even from a male perspective, it's the pressure. There is a pressure of having to do this. Like if I miss a good morning, if I forget to send a good morning text, I'm like, oh shoot, I forgot. Like there's this, like it'd be like, oh my god, it's noon. Oh, I forgot. And it's not a big deal. It's never. But I'm just saying that's just how we feel. Like, oh shoot. Yeah.
So that I would say, if I was your homegirl, like if you were to roll in my inbox and do it, be like, damn, I didn't say good morning. My response would be, her phone ain't broke. Is she up? Her phone ain't broke.
True, and that's true. I'm just saying. But the point, the anxiety is still there. Right. I get it. But I mean, the anxiety is still there, and we
it is
like this idea of of us having to perform a certain way is still there. And for us, some of that is we have to learn how to remove that from ourselves so that we can so that we don't have to worry about performing.
Yeah.
So what's up, Kels?
Hey sis.
So yeah, it's
I feel you.
yeah.
You're right. Like y'all be telling us we stress about some of the wrong things. This is one of those. I think this is one of those.
I think in the right for the right person it is.
Mhm.
Absolutely. But I think like while you're dating, you don't know. Like you don't know it
Yeah.
at that point. Like you're
Yeah,
still
but your previous example was somebody you've been with for a minute. So
yeah,
I
yeah.
was like,
But even when you're dating, like if you're dating and you've been together for a year, it's like that. It's that anxiety that is oh shoot again. And this is depending on the person because there are some people who it doesn't affect at all,
that's true.
at all, and it's like whatever. I forgot. Who cares? She'll be all right. I didn't send it every other day. If she got a problem,
You gonna not answer or not? Like, what are we doing? Like,
I text you back after all other stuff going on. You need to. So it just depends on the person. Too, so. Yeah.
Get it in, sis. Get it in. Me too, sis. Me too, Shanae. I'm talking. I'll be like, you better get off my phone with this thing. The fastest way to not get no more good mornings is to fuss because you didn't get a good morning. Like, don't do that. When I kick back and forth, and then we're gonna move on. Like, don't belabor that point, bro. Like, let's not do that.
I agree. Especially like I said, especially if like to your point earlier, if he is doing the other stuff, I'm gonna say if he's doing the other stuff in the other areas, like come on, that's stupid. I'm just gonna say it's stupid.
It is.
He handling his business. He treating you right. He trying. Speaking of which, and then we gonna move on. I saw a video today that this video of Sierra talking about. I posted to my Instagram stories, and when I saw this video, I was like, "That's how every man wants his woman to respond." Like she said, "He has my back. He always has my." But the way she said it, I was like, "Yeah."
Okay, you gotta send me that link. You know I don't be on Instagram. You know I ain't seen that on the Instagram story. But send me the link and I'll watch it. Because I love their dynamic. I think it's beautiful watching them. I haven't been sold the Sierra Russell dream. I'm just seeing what I've seen, and I think it's beautiful. You know, to how she loves him as a woman. Watching that, like, there's only so much faking and fronting that a person is gonna do. And I don't think that's what's happening with them. So I think it's good. So I'm absolutely interested in the link. And I think without even watching the video, but just knowing the energy that she brings when she knocked out Kels, like out, okay. But I'm just knowing the energy that Sierra brings when speaking about Russell and their marriage and how much she loves them. I know exactly what you're talking about. And yes, yep, that is exactly what.
Like, listen, I said, if you can't get, I can't get somebody that's gonna talk about me like that. We don't need to be together because that's. Right. And then I said, you know what? I said, no, actually, I'm joking when I said that, but what I actually said was, I said, this is the way as a man you want your woman to talk about you, but at the same time, this is the kind of work. Like when you're doing, we call it work in your relationship, this is what you're doing it for. So she recognizes this, that you, and she speaks about you like this, because, yeah.
It's beautiful. It's beautiful. We love to see it.
Absolutely. Look, I'm sitting here trying to find the link. Yep, I got the link.
I think you sent it to me.
Look, look.
I got the notification. I won't swipe this one away. I'm swiping with the notifications, boy. I can't stand a lot of notifications.
I can't do it today. Let me see something. Can I paste that now?
It's a video link, probably not on the live. No, you have to just share that on your page. It doesn't like GIFs and videos in live streams.
Actually, hold on. Let me see. There's that.
Oh, you're trying to play it. Yes, Kels, super triggered. Don't do it. So I don't like tags.
Where's that? Come on. Well, okay.
Oh, but it looks like you got the link into the chat. There you go.
Yeah, I put it in the chat. All right, it won't let me play it.
After the show, y'all click that link and go scroll up and look that.
Yeah. All right. Anyway, watch it. Yes, absolutely. Next one. Oh, okay.
You see me?
I'm trying to find. Look, I have to go back and look. See what's the next one. No. Here it is. All right. Miss Alana says, LOL, I usually pay on the first date. I want the man to understand I got this. And then the Black Chandler says, you married? And she says, I guess I am now. Where you want to go, baby? I got you. And he says, not me. I'm going nowhere, but keep paying for dates, love. You won't find a husband, LOL. You'll find a bum. What are your thoughts? Will she find a husband? Will she find a bum? What you think? What do you think about paying for first dates? So you can, you want the man to understand, you got this. Hey, Thomas.
Nope. Sis does not speak for Q Willis. That is not a ministry I can get behind. I will be passing that plate right on.
Why die?
This ain't, this ain't gonna work for me. The whole I got this and no, and then the way she responded about the you married, no, this ain't it. This is not it for my feminine energy. This does not do it for me. Like, this is not where I am in my happy place, in my comfy space. This is not, no. And nor would I, if this was my daughter posted, I'd be in a girl, take this down. And I look, you see, I had to catch my tongue just that fast at the like, I would be that mama all in her comments, girl. If you don't get this, I don't condone this behavior. I don't.
Why? Tell me why.
Because that's not the lifestyle that I'm trying to lead long term. While I am all for being able to, like with my husband, yes, I will pay for dates and we'll do all that kind of stuff and vice versa. But while we're dating, I've said this before and I will say it again because this is something that I believe to my core. When you are dating, you are supposed to be setting an expectation for your long term. My long-term goal for my husband would be for him, and his goal would be to be able to primarily provide for us financially. Where my set out the gate would not be for me to have to pay to feed us. Dates to me are more than just a meal. Dates to me in the dating phase, when you're going out for meals, is more of, it's setting a different type of example. Food is sustenance. That is provision. That is how I was pretty much brought up. If this man cannot scrounge up some coin to feed you one meal, why would you continue to spend time with him if that is such a chore? And we got to have all of these conversations about one dinner, then that is not the man for me. And I am confident in that. There is not now man on this planet that's going to be able to talk me down on that. Like, it's just, so y'all can keep it. I'm just going to tell y'all up front. And if you've been around here before, you already know I mean what I say on that. Like, it is what it is. That is what I'm teaching my daughters, my nieces. Any of you send your babies to me, that's what I'm telling her. And I'm telling my sons that too. Like, that's not how we do these things around here. And I have a husband and he pays for dates still, and paid for dates while we were dating. So, I mean, that's just, it just is what it is. For me, do what you do for you. I've always said that too. Do what you do for you. This does not work for Shaquilla Willis. Period.
Kel says something very interesting. I think let me go to these other ones. Tommy says that's a communication, but men normally pay. Shanae says because it could send the wrong message. He would usually lower the bar on what he had intended for courtship. You think so? You think that that would lower the bar? So if a man would, I'm interested, Sinead, when you say lower the bar, what? Oh, she says he'll feel like, oh, I don't have to go all out for her. Men nurture what they invest in. Men nurture.
Sinead was about to explain what she said. You knew it was another comment coming on that.
Don't do my sis like that.
My sis is coming with the clarity. Though. That's a compliment. You know, my sis is coming with the clarity.
Don't do that, sis.
All love. She know what it is.
And she knew we gonna ask too. Like,
yeah. So
yeah. Kel says paying is a flex. I've done it to dudes who ain't got nothing but think women out here that rag. So it is a flex.
I can see that.
It is a flex, absolutely. But I think if it is and it's received that way, then at that point I'm interested. I think that it does at that point lower the I don't want to use the word quality, but lower something in his mind. You know, whether maybe I don't, you know, like I think dude.
If you pay for a flex move, there won't be another date for him to have a lowered expectation. This is generally happens like once you're at the table and he's pulling this whole you gonna pay your way there you go, or he's talking out like money yippee yap, and then you like, oh, you one of them, oh okay, and then you slide that good old card across after you done ordered dessert, an extra drink, slid in an extra appetizer, you know, you gotta run it up a little bit, then you slide it across the table, you know, you gotta make it count because there will be a no next time.
Okay,
that's when that happens.
In that instance, absolutely,
yes,
I absolutely agree with that.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I was going to say, I mean, that's not the dude I'm necessarily interested in trying to.
No.
Yeah.
All right. Toughy, but a good point.
Right. I'm with you, Thomas. That's a very good point. Notice I couldn't even respond. I'm like, that's about it. He said they're rags. I've never expected something serious from anyone. I paid the bill, so I see the point. Okay. All right, let's keep it moving. This was cute.
Does not condone that previous post.
Absolutely not. Listen, y'all know me. I'm old school. I don't want my woman to pay for Nathan. I don't want her to think about pulling the wallet out. And anytime she does, I have an internal argument with myself about I be calling myself all kind of no good such and suches.
And she thinking she doing a good thing.
I just don't like it. That's just not how I'm built. Like I recognize that, you know, I need to move on and let that go, but I just can't.
Kind of.
I mean,
spirit is in the right place. You'll continue to be blessed. You might not recognize it in the moment, but you, sir, will continue to be blessed.
Can do it.
Your spirit is in the right situation. Ooh. You will continue to be blessed. It is good. It is good. Okay, you will be fine.
I'll be like, nah, listen. Yeah.
Yes, Auntie. Yes, he did. Yes, he did. Tell him. Don't.
Yeah, I ain't doing what you're doing. These new school relationships, I'll be like,
that's not for us.
Yeah. All right, here we go. This was your favorite post because you didn't like this one.
No, I'm not here for this at all.
Hold on. Here, let me make sure. All right. There you go. So they said, tell my sons it requires balance because on the flip side, I don't want him being the food dude. Absolutely. That's the beauty, though. She just expressing you all together, all the same, especially. Yeah, absolutely. That's why I say I get it. Like I get it. That, you know, just like in the previous post, he was talking about doing something nice, and so we want to do stuff nice for each other. I get it. I'm just not there. I'm working on it. Anyway, all right. My husband wants to charge our daughter $100 rent. She is only 16 years old and feels like since she can spend her own money on whatever she wants, she can pay a bill. I asked him at what age did his mother charge him rent, and he said 18, and my dad didn't make me start paying rent until I was 21. Now he can't see her bank account, so he doesn't know what she has in either her checking nor her savings. But am I wrong for saying no to the rent payment since she is still in high school?
No, ma'am. You are not wrong. You are not wrong. I was probably this daughter. I've been working since before I was legally able to, as far as a family business. We had a family business, but as soon as I could get my learner's permit, I had a job. So I've been working since I was 15. As soon as I could get a second job, I worked for my school. And then my senior year, I had 3 jobs when I graduated. So like I had to have a checking account ASAP. You know what I mean? And there was not this whole you gonna have to pay bills, and there was no now this is your thing. When I became 18 and I got my car that I paid for, I saved for, and I paid for, then I was responsible for my insurance and my gas, but that was for my personal vehicle. That was a luxury, not a necessity. That was not a roof. That was not food. That was not the light bill. That was not, gas for the house. That was gas for my vehicle, for my transportation to do my running around back and forth to work and stuff. But at no point did my parent ever say, now since you're working, now you have to pay rent. That was never a thing because I was still a child who happened to be earning, which they taught me different life lessons, which was why I was able to save the money to purchase my first car without assistance. You know what I mean? I was able to do that process. I went in, did the whole thing with the bank, had the checking account, was able to keep up with my savings. And as being a Capricorn, we're supposed to be super great with money. I was not always great with money. Money burned a hole in my pocket. As soon as I got it, I was spending it. Before I got it, I knew what it was going to be spent on type stuff. And it took me a time to figure that out. So I think there are ways we have to find ways to teach our kids financial lessons without making their lessons a relief of our burden. You just have to be creative, and the rent is your thing. That's not your child's thing. So there's a way that we can impart responsibility in our children as far as money is concerned without making them responsible for household bills. So no, I don't condone this at all. No.
Yeah, I think on the post I said my initials. I don't necessarily agree at 16 with rent. I am okay, but then I said I'm also interested. If I were advising them as the financial, I'd want to know like what is her. Is she a spender or is she a saver? Because and even if no matter which one she is, but it would help me determine how I would approach this. If she was a spender, then I would use this as an opportunity to talk to her about budgeting, saving, and a part of her budgeting would be you have to put, in real life, you're going to have to pay rent. So every pay period, put X amount here as if you were paying rent. Or even if I said, give me the $100 like you were paying rent. And then at the end of the year, Christmas, whatever goal we set, we can use that as that. So you get to understand that every pay period, this money is coming out. If she were a saver, then I would do it. Then I don't have to do that because that comes natural to her. But I would look at it again and say, hey, this is how you should spend because you want to
set different goals.
Yeah, I want you to learn that it's okay to spend. So what are your goals? Let's talk about how much you should spend, how much you should enjoy yourself because you want some gratification from the fact that you earn your own money. Yeah. So I also said on here that I would talk about investing. If what's your investment accounts look like?
Yep.
Again, if that $100 is going into a Roth IRA, let's go. Let's go for it. But I think unless I get that most of us are in survival mode. And so what we're doing is we're passing down survival tactics to a generation that's not in survival mode and that shouldn't be in survival mode. We should be giving them at 16, should have, unless mom and daddy been putting cable in her name, no debt, no bills, no credit. And so now let's give her a foundation where come college or whatever she does post high school, she's not having to start out at a deficit. So let's look at that stuff. And then, like I said, now after she graduates, If she's still in the house, then we can talk about that. Might be able to talk about rent or whatever, but let the girl go to prom. Let the girl go to get her hair done. Let her.
Yeah.
Come on. 16 one time. One time. So you should teach responsibility. We should be teaching that stuff. But paying bills cannot be the sum total of our financial literacy in the house.
Yeah.
That's the problem.
Yeah. And you can't be jealous that your child does not have all of the same things that you have going on. Like, I think a lot of parents look at it as though you got all this extra money. And let's be honest, how much extra money? Is it ever a lot of extra money for a 16-year-old? Like, let's just be real. How much money are we really talking about spending here? And at that point, what are we really teaching as far as, like you said, the whole work reward? If we only work to pay bills, why are we setting our, you know what I mean? Like, that's what we know. But we should be trying to show our children something different. And we can't start out their relationships with money as always being fussed at, always being hovered over, always being lorded over as far as what you're doing with this. Well, you know, you're going to need that. No, I don't. You know why? Because I'm 16 and that's not a problem for me right now. I understand that in a few years that it could be. So help me figure this out. But this is not helpful. That is not a helpful approach to teaching kids about money. It makes them, if anything, it makes them rebel in the opposite direction. So as soon as they get free of you and they can spend their money any way that they want to without somebody over their shoulder talking crazy to them. Yeah, they're going to hit some bumps and yeah, some things might go off. But at the end of the day, they'll be like, well, they came back on. Like, you know what I mean? Like, but I did it and I figured it out like everybody else figures it out. Because at the end of the day, we all figured it out. So we need to, you know, there's a balance that we have to have. Sometimes I think we go way harder than we need to trying to get these lessons. Not saying, you know, I came from a strict family and I am a strict parent. So like, I'm not saying that there's no room for that, but I think some of the lessons that we choose to go so hard on, we could pull back a little bit because we have to speak of from where that comes from. You know?
I think we have, exactly. I think we have to acknowledge the fact that most of us 2 or 3 generations ago come from a place where usually if something happened, the oldest child quit school, went to work. And again, we were in this survival mode.
My daddy.
A lot of our time, a lot of our thoughts, our ideas about money is all based on survival. Or if we made something, then now it becomes about scarcity. And so survival says I need to fight to make it. Scarcity says now I need to fight because I'm scared I'm gonna lose it. So I don't do things that put me in position to be wealthy because I'm constantly in the mindset of any day now I'm gonna lose all this money. So I gotta make sure I fight to do it. And that is what it sounds like what this parent is doing. But again, we don't know the full context, but from what we can see, you know, because I'm interested about when she said he can't see a bank account. I'm interested in what that means. Like, do she have some money in the account already he don't know about? Like,
I think the mama, because if you're 16, someone else has to be on the account with you. So I'm pretty sure the mama has access to it. And probably because the daddy has this type of relationship with money, she was like, nah, ma, I'm gonna need you to be the one to see the account. Because you're not gonna be swiping my money and doing, making imaginary rent payments and all that other stuff. So nah, ma, we going to the bank. That's what I heard. That's what I got from that. Because we all know there's a parent there. Like, if you've ever opened an account, if you had one before you were 18, you know that it's required. There's a parent there. The mama is just fine to go and be the parent on that account. And that don't mean that daddy needs to see the money. He don't have, that is not necessarily a right for daddy to have to look at that account too. There's a parent on the account.
Here's the other part that I think is something. So how does she said, should I say no? Now when I read that, I thought, I wonder what her saying, like, I wonder what the financial dynamic between the parents are, because if he is the breadwinner and the expectation over the money in their house, not the expectation, but the way they're functioning now is he handles all of the money, or he's the primary one doing the money. Like, what does her saying no mean for them? Because, like, is there something else happening here where he is, where she doesn't trust him with money? Like, so I have my money mentor stuff was like, ooh, this is, I need to follow this one because I'm interested in again, how do they do their money in their relationship? Is he managing her money like that to the point where she doesn't feel like she can express that she wants. And if she says no, how is he going to respond? Is she the one handling this primarily, and now her saying no is going to cause some more, like they're clearly not on the same page. So
no, they're not.
So I'm just Anyway, comments. Shanae says I wouldn't charge my kids rent in high school. That's mommy duties. Yep. Thomas totally agree. No rent during those years. Just a point to put that money up for that time when they are on their own. Yep. Let's see. She says I would not pay my teenage child. I would not make my teenage child pay rent. Okay. Shanae says I've seen how other ethnicities have a completely different outlook. Black kids are taught just be happy to pay your bills on time. Other kids are focusing on not getting in debt. Yep. I believe in teaching. Donna says, I believe in teaching others to give their money an assignment. Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah.
And Jamie Willis says, I thought maybe the daughter and mom are big spenders and the husband wants to see saving and responsibility from both sides. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I think it does make me, it does make me wonder what is the dynamic in their house. Because her saying, should I say no? Like just the way that's
But she could be trying to gain opinions. Like, am I tripping? Like, should I say no? This is, so we love us a rabbit hole around here. So I can see where it was easy to think, what does this really mean? Especially from the money perspective and how heavy that can be. But I think she was genuinely asking for opinions because maybe she is a big spender. But I think she could be asking for like options other than this, because there are other ways that you could teach it. I thought even if you have her give the $100 a month and you even call it rent, you could even teach her, you could make it like a checking account, set her up a different type, make it a credit account. Would you like a secure card? Isn't that the one where you pay out? Listen, I've been paying attention to my money mentor things, but like that you pay in a certain amount. Say you pay in a certain amount up until say 500. 5 months you put in $500, and then at this point you can start to withdraw. Up until a certain point, you start getting penalties. If you don't put it back after a certain time, you get fees on that. Like it might take you a little bit as a parent to outline that process, but that teaches way more lessons that actually affect them. It teaches them about goal planning. It teaches them about financial planning. It teaches them about sacrifice, all of those things. And you can still say it now at this date. You could even do it yearly. At this date, you can cash out if you want to, and we can start it all over again. Or you can gain a bonus and I'll match whatever you've had in here at a certain time. And then next year we can do it all over again. And we can set new goals. There's all kinds of things you can do. And then, hey, mama might want to get in on that too if it's that easy. If I can do it with $100 a month, if there are big spenders, you know what I mean? So there's not this contention when it comes to money. We're supposed to love it and like not be in love with it to the point where it takes over us, but like we are supposed to be comfortable in a state of security, of being able to go and do what we want and get what we want. So we need to be able to teach the skills to be able to allow that and be able to have that mental capacity to do it responsibly. Yep. Sorry, now I soapbox on something that ain't even my thing, but like that was just, I don't understand how we do that with.
You felt that in your.
I did.
Came on you real quick. I was like, listen, well, let me go ahead and let you finish. Go ahead.
Y'all know me and these children. Me and the babies. I be serious about the baby, them teenagers. Like I don't understand it. Why we choose to.
Right. Snake says, I saw it as respecting him as head of house. Again, it could. But even my thing is, even as head of household, even though I head of the household, there still should be conversation with the other person, and she should feel comfortable saying no. So in my mind, I'm just wondering, or saying that she disagrees, maybe not no, but hey, this is something I don't agree with that you're trying to implement. Let's get on the same page about this. Let's keep having this dialogue until we're on the same page, because I don't follow you. And you ain't, you're not feeling me. So what's our meeting? Where can we meet? Because head of the household don't mean that I'm always right.
Which I think is fair. That's fair.
Hold on, let me take that back. It does. I'm always right, but nevertheless.
This is me passing that plate on by again.
Oh, okay. This is nice. Nice stuff. Nice stuff. Nice stuff. I know I'm not always right. Let's see what she says. She said, I do it all the time. Try to make sure I'm not stuck in my own head. So I ask her, but yeah, absolutely nothing wrong with that. Absolutely nothing wrong with asking for advice. All right. Yeah. All right. Whew. First of all, baby mama, baby daddy drama. All right. Anyway, my daughter's father has a new girlfriend and a new job. He's doing really well. He always gives me money. He even helps with my other kids who aren't his. But since his new girlfriend came into the picture, he still gives me money and takes his daughter every weekend. But he brings his girlfriend. I don't like her, and I told him to break up with her. He won't, so now he's going on child support. What's a reasonable amount to ask the court? I'm a stay-at-home mom and would like to stay a stay-at-home mom. Also, my current boyfriend is a stay-at-home dad, and we need the support since we aren't working. Just let that marinate for a second.
Foolish fires. Foolish fires. Nope. No. No.
I had to read that last couple of sentences twice. Like, wait. I'm a stay-at-home mom, and would like to continue to be a stay-at-home mom. Also, my current boyfriend is a stay-at-home dad, and we need the support since we aren't working.
He's stupid. She's stupid. All of them stupid. That's stupid. This is stupid. There's no way. How much should I ask for? Nothing. Nothing. Nothing at all. You should leave that man alone. You need to get a job. Your man, you need to get a job. Ma'am.
I read that. Was like, I didn't read that right. Let me try this again. Mm-hmm. I was like, no, I read that right. I did read that right. Okay.
Yeah.
This what we doing?
But all jokes aside, because this has to be a flipping joke to this degree. Like, this has to be. But there are some very, very interesting arrangements that have been set up. I could hear that in unison too. I know exactly how that sounded. But there are some super ridiculous arrangements that happen similar to this. There's we talk a lot about the child support thing, about the fear of it. We talk a lot about how women play games back and forth when it comes to kids. Y'all, a lot of this does happen. Like, let's not, and again, we'll say all the time when we get these super extreme examples that happen like this, we'll try and pick them apart and say, like, these things, some of these things can be true. These things can be very accurate. Yes. As far as her still being able to live a cush life, her being able to call shots in his life so that he can see the kids, or there's going to be child support, those types of things. Don't let him have a good job. Don't let him be on the up. You know what I mean? So, like, I get it. It does not fall on deaf ears when we see, when the brothers go in on those particular posts as far as what they've gone through, because it is absolutely happening. But yeah, this is just absolute foolishness. This is she, from her perspective, this is sis. This is us to sis. This is foolishnness. This is foolishness. And why we have so much trauma as it relates to relationships, parenting, co-parenting. It's just, it goes on and on and on, because there are people who, I don't know if this was an actual post or if this chick was trolling us or what, but there are people who have these types of things out here, and all it takes is someone to see this as an example and be like, oh hell no, like, this is what they do. No. And I mean, in a way, that's a good form of birth control. Like, you should be on your up and up. So this does not happen. This happens. This absolutely. I know of some people who this is their
The only problem with this one is I would say is she's in trouble because she's a girlfriend and she's not an ex-wife. So you're going to get child support, ma'am, which yes is based on his income and based depending on what state you live, based on how often he has children. So you might be better off keeping the current thing that you have, because you might mess around, and I've seen this happen before, that a woman gets upset and when they go to court and figure out how much the child support is, it is less than what he was already giving you. And now you put him in a position where you at his mercy. Mm-hmm. Because now it is court ordered and that's all he has to do. And if he gets used to paying you this less amount, well, you don't want to put him on child support.
Mm-hmm. And that's help for the other kids.
And that other kid help, that's gone.
Gone, baby.
Gone.
We posted a video. I shared a video in the group not long after this one was shared. As you know, as far as that very thing happened, you get in there, you thinking everything's gonna go your way just because you. No, ma'am. No, ma'am. Numbers is all they're worried about. Yep. At time,
they numbers and they'll make sure the kids are safe. Once the kids safe, now it's about how much they make, how much time, who has them win. Mm-hmm. Game over. Who has the insurance?
Don't let him end up being the more fit parent.
I was going to say, and then that was what I was about to say next and then if he's a certain type of man, he's gonna say, you know what? I think I want the kids to come live with me now. Y'all not working.
So it's about to mess around and find out. And mess around is not what I was trying to say, okay? But she about to mess around and find out. That's what it sounds like to me. Because if he's the type of brother that's willing to pay and do all that what he's doing, and then all of that ain't gonna be your situation for long, sis. Especially if this is the route you're trying to take. He's trying to bless you. You need to take heed.
Listen, and especially if he has the girlfriend who is like, you know what? I see what you're doing. You're a good man. Bring them kids over here. We got this.
You know what? How's she mad that he rolling up with the girlfriend and he's supposed to be putting money in the house with this Negro that ain't working? That just dawned on me. Wait a minute. Next post. We're not talking about this no more. We're not talking about this. Like as many times as this is rolled back and forth past my feet, I did not even connect them to the audacity.
Yeah, she got a man that's sitting there not working because he's a stay-at-home dad.
We both can't stay at home. Who's gonna pay for the home? Not him.
He's paying for the home.
You should welcome sis to sit on that couch. You should be rubbing feet. You should have to-go plates ready. Sis, you thirsty? You thirsty, baby? You better be planning her spa day. You better listen, ma'am.
Listen, when you better be making her plates.
Ma'am.
Take this plate back with you and tell him I said thank you.
No. Mm-mm.
Yep.
No, ma'am.
It's a bad situation. It ain't fair in no sense. Just my opinion. Not.
We share your opinion.
Right.
It's not right.
It sounds like a country. It does sound like a country Wayne episode, actually. It does. Mm-hmm. Keith Turner says that makes no sense to me. And my wife said what at the same time. I actually hear that straight foolishness. Mm-hmm. Actually, and it is a common. It is. Yep. That's what it sounds like. She is in a bad place. Especially, everybody stay at home. Crazy. Agree. Let's move on. Now, if everybody working, that would be okay. But that's not right. Everybody should be putting in to take care of the kids and themselves.
Yep.
Yeah, you would think so. But she says she needs to stay at home. And so does he. Mm-mm. They need to stay at home too. They need to stay at home. Somebody
needs something, but it ain't to stay at home.
All I know is if somebody better be getting a check. Like somebody better be getting the SSI check or something like that. If you need to stay at home, then you get an SSI check or something, right? Because you can't work. Disability check.
I would hope. But if she got a couple baby daddies dropping off money, she said my other kids, there was plural. So we don't know how many other situations she got set up like this. And homie obviously doesn't care about another man putting in his household because he's sitting there happy in his stay-at-home dad situation.
Hey, listen, we ain't even talk about that part. You mean tell me you bringing some more money into my house?
It's some dudes that's built like that. That
I don't even want to pay.
would think that was some fly stuff to be having another dude paying for their life. It is some men that would absolutely be like, yeah, that you paying for my bill. Thank you. You paying for my bill. Yeah. He a simp. That he ended up calling him the simp. Which, whatever. But yeah, somehow that man would be a better man than the man that, We're not built for this new. That ain't for us.
This new needs to go away because it's
foolish.
It's absolutely foolish. Yeah. Anyway, all right. All right. Advertise with the scoop. You like to get your business, product, service out there, then you need to advertise with us. We have packages for all dollar sizes, and we have customers who are willing to support you. So email us at globaldriveradio@gmail.com so we can set up a time where we can talk about the package that is perfect for your business or your service. Again, that's globaldriveradio@gmail.com. What else? Go for it.
Oh. And I actually brought some this time. So you guys, you have seen me chit chat about this Blocked and Beautiful Braid Bomb like all summer. And I was actually smart enough to bring some today so that I could show you just how amazing this stuff is. This is the jar that you will receive. The phone is, there we go. Blocked and Beautiful Braid Bomb. Boom. There. But I want to show you guys what the consistency of this product is. This is my personal. So as you can tell, we've been using it. But it's a clear product. I'm scooping it out. Clear. Back of the hand. Jesus, this camera is always so all over the place. But it is so smooth, so easy to manipulate and move around. And as you can tell, like, it's not a tacky product. Damn, I wish I put it on this hand. But like I can still, after putting it on these fingers, so like it's tacky. It makes it so that you can hold on the hair if you're doing box braids, French braids. I know a lot of us are doing these stitch braids and things like that, ponytails, swoops, puffs, all that stuff. You can retwist your locks with it. But the consistency of this product is so amazing. And it is the one thing that is consistent in the reviews that I get from my braiders who use this product, is that it is so amazing for actually absorbing into the hair. Once you're finished styling, you are set. There's no residue. There's no buildup. You don't get the flakes. You don't get the little balls of curly things. This product plays well with others, although you won't need much else other than this product, because it also provides a lot of shine, moisture. It locks in the moisture, so you can literally go from shampoo, condition, right into braiding. If you do a blowout, this product plays very, very well with that, and you get lots of shine. When you tuck, if you're a braider, you know what I'm talking about. Making sure you tuck those ends to actually protect the hair. This product is going to allow you to do that, so you don't have to go through and do the mousse after. You don't have to go through and do all of that. This product takes care of that, okay? So visit elegancebydesign.com. That is design with a Z.com, and order your Blocked and Beautiful Braid Bomb. Blocked and Beautiful Braid Bomb. This is also available right here in Oklahoma City, y'all. Don't worry about shipping, okay? Gone right on out to Del City. Hit up the Back to My Roots Marketplace out there with Lakeitha, and she has this product and many, many more. We got the Edge Control. All that is out at the Back to My Roots Marketplace. So go pick it up and tell me how you like it. Okay? All
right. I had to put this one. I love that.
Yes, it is. That is her ish. Like, she will not run out of that. She will not run out of.
Speaking of running out.
Oh, don't start. The website works for you too? No, I'm playing. Don't be one of them, bro. Don't be one of them. No.
No, that was you're right. I do need to put my one in you.
No, I'm playing though, because I have been slacking. Now that I'm through with the fashion show, I could actually get back in the kitchen. I've actually got 3 recipes in the back of my brain that need to like get out of me. So I'm on vacation next week. And it's going down. I'm so excited, y'all. I ain't got nothing planned. Nothing.
Tomorrow, make sure you guys join us tomorrow on Clubhouse, the Scoop on Clubhouse. Our topic for tomorrow is how do you create a relationship where it's easy to be vulnerable. That's what we're talking about. So if you are on Clubhouse, Join us at 7 o'clock Central, 8 o'clock Eastern time. We're talking about vulnerability and the value of vulnerability. I did a podcast last week, Donnell's podcast last week in the Man Cave, and we were talking about men being vulnerable. And it was just a really dope conversation. We're talking about gaslighting, but talked about how we how difficult it is for us to be vulnerable as men and the benefits of it. So it made me think, how do we create that space in our relationships so that both men and women can be vulnerable? Because my thesis is vulnerability is what helps to create intimacy. And so the more vulnerable we could be, the more honest, transparent we could be, some of the crap we can keep out, but it also invites intimacy in. So I want to talk about that tomorrow. So y'all join us at 7 o'clock on Clubhouse, Scoop on Clubhouse.
Speaking my love language right here.
Yeah.
Talking about the feels.
Yeah.
That's my ish. Okay, we talking about.
Of course, y'all know my book came out. So this says pre-order, but we're not pre-ordering. The book came out, Surviving Relationship Storm. So you still can get it at the website for $20. But you got to pay for your own shipping now. But you should have got it when it was a pre-order. When I was
wait to do that face.
So get your copy at bit.ly/Blue Storms. I shipped out some today. I'm gonna ship out some tomorrow. As long as I don't go to jail, I'll ship out some more the day after. So
he gonna have to go live and tell y'all this story at some point. Just know before he tells y'all, I told him we need a do-over. This story cannot be Winfred's thug story. Like, we're gonna have to give bro a better thug story. Okay, so just wait on it. I'm gonna make sure he come back and tell y'all about it. But just know that I looked out for y'all and for his credibility out here in these streets.
I need my street cred.
This will not be his thug story. This is just a little jokey joke.
It won't. It won't.
It was hilarious.
Uh-oh, hold on. What? I didn't mean to do that. Here we go.
In your romantic relationship, it is important for you both to know what love, honor, and respect mean to one another and what it looks like. Many men and women in relationships have differing understandings of love, honor, and respect, which cause them to mislabel their partners as unloving, uncaring, nagging, dishonorable, and or disrespectful, when in fact your partner is attempting to love, honor, and respect you just from their story. Gottman says, for a conflict discussion to succeed, you must state your feelings as neutrally as possible and then convert any complaint about your partner into a positive need. Your goal is to give your partner a blueprint for succeeding with you. Think of your negative emotions as a clue to a hidden wish. Then express that desire directly. Learning each other's stories help us to build better understanding and responses. And if we pay attention and ask the right questions, we as partners can become helpers in our partner's healings by giving grace, mercy, and truth in a way that heals and doesn't further wound one another. To learn more and order your copy of Surviving Relationship Storms by Winfred Burns II, visit bit.ly/Blue Storms today.
All right. Get your copy. All right. Let's go ahead and jump into these hot topics. All right. First things first. Oh, this one was mine. So I posted this question. This is a part two, really, of a question that I posted. So what I said was, according to this post a few days ago, something I said a few days ago previous to this, what I said a few days ago was that I said that we have to learn how to give each other more respect and more grace in relationships. Because I said, what I actually said was, just because a person doesn't say something the way that you like it doesn't mean that it doesn't, that we shouldn't listen for what the person is saying or something like that. Mm-hmm. So on the post, it was no, we shouldn't. We should make the person say it right, which I was not disagreeing with. But it was talking about how this is disrespectful. But the reason I put this up, because people were glorifying this post. And so I said, would what Lauren London said be considered disrespectful? And would Nipsey Hussle be considered dumb for letting her talk to him like she did, which is what they were saying in the other post. So here's what she said in an interview. Lauren London in an interview said, "We never argued or fought, but I would be crazy sometimes. And in those moments, he never lost his cool, never disrespected me back or called me out my name. He loved me anyway. I would get hot-headed, sometimes out of line, and aimed to him because it was easy. But he would love me, hug me. He would stay patient and bring me back to character. That's how I know I lost my soulmate. No one else is going to love me like him. No one else to comfort my soul as he did. He was my positive when the devil threw his negative my way. He was a man. He was my best half." And they said, "I so love this person who wrote this." So, yeah. I think, like I said, yeah. I'm sorry. What's your thoughts?
So I know guys like Nip. From what we've seen of him, the conversations that we've seen of him, the way that he was, the vibe that he had. I know guys like Nip. I also know guys like Lauren. I mean, chicks like Lauren. And they often find themselves wrapped up and in love just like those two are. There is a compliment that happens with those types of energies that gives me a different level of understanding of what she's saying. In all honesty, like if you want to get all psychological and all that about it, yeah, it's probably got some things that need to be improved. But with where they came from and what they know of what love was, I think that is how they balance one another. Like he was Nipsey Hussle and she is Lauren London. If they wanted other folks, they could have found other folks. You know what I mean? Like she was not holding him hostage or anything like that. So like that's how I feel about that. Now to your point, I can say that you do make a good point as far as how we perceived your original post. And I'll say the thing that I think that I know I took issue with in that post was the fact that you called out, that you spoke specifically to men, saying that just because she doesn't say it the way that you want her to does not mean that you should not listen. And to me, because it has been something that I know I was triggered by that because, and I'll own it, I was triggered by that, even though I knew where you were going with it, because so much of my personal platform and yours as well, being one of my partners in this, is that we also as women have to be accountable for how we say things. Absolutely. We manipulate the fact that we are the supposed communicators, and we do too much. And sometimes just say, well, just hear me. No, I can't, because you saying it like that. You know what I mean? So I think when we, that is where I took issue with, like, nah, I'm gonna need you to put a little more effort and say it right if you really want them to take action. So I think that's where the primary majority of your pushback came from on that post. Now with this, I think her saying I would get crazy, but then at the same time saying we never argued, we never fought, it makes me wonder, well, what is really crazy? Because is she an animated person where she's wanting to fly out there, you say something crazy, what is that? Like, if she's one of them, like, you gotta always tell chick, girl, calm down. Like, it ain't that serious, babe. Like, relax. Like, is that her crazy where he gets to calm her down because she done took something left and now we gotta focus? Okay, babe, relax. Like, it's really, I got you. Like, we good. Like, is that what we talking about? Because he's the closest one and he's the one that's in and that can do that to her because he is the soulmate. So like it was hard for me to follow this particular example because we were shown so much of what it seemed like. And like they never really hid the fact that what they had was different. They didn't make it seem like it was anything. It was a hood fairy tale. So like I don't know why anybody had any misconceptions about what the hell a hood fairy tale entails. I don't know what they had a fairy tale shoot in Compton, like in horses in the middle of it. I mean, I don't know, it might not have been Compton, but like y'all know what I'm saying. Like this is
in the middle of the hood.
Yeah, what did we?
Again, it was some thug love happening.
It was right. So I mean, you have to understand that you can't really, you can't book that type of environment. Like there's that, you just have to kind of get it. If you get it, you get. If you know type of thing when it came to them. Give me a different example and we can have a whole different conversation. Yeah, we're like, I just and that's not saying that there could not be room for improvement, but if given the opportunity, who's to know what that could have become? Because they were en route to being the change. Like they were doing the work. Like that man got up every day and saged their home and prayed over their babies. And I'm getting chill bumps talking about how they spoke about their love. Just if given the opportunity, what could it have been?
Which I think is a part of why I made the post, because I think that sometimes so the original post, let me say that I purposely said it to men, because men are usually, just like women are typically the communicators, women are also the ones who are typically labeled as the more emotional one. And so because you're more emotional when they comment, when they say something with emotion, we usually label it as nagging or something like that, or we're labeling it as you're being combative or doing too much. And so I was speaking to that to try to say, even if she is saying it in a nagging way, that sometimes what she's nagging about is something that we need to pay attention to and get beyond it. So I did do that on purpose. And I
got it later, but my fingers was too busy swiping by that time.
and I agree. I even agreed. I agreed with everybody and I was like, I agree with y'all. I'm not saying that we don't have to learn, but like you were saying, they were getting to that point and hadn't arrived there. And he might have arrived there, given what we know, a little sooner than her in that area. So we have to, in our relationships, say, give each other the grace to say that she might not have arrived, using Lauren and Nipsey. She might not have arrived yet to a space where she can properly communicate or communicate in a healthy way what her need was, what was bothering her. But he was able to do that. And to call him dumb for doing that, to me, actually doesn't make sense. Well, I understand why people are there, but it to me, it actually, what he was loving. He was loving her.
He was showing her love,
showing her what love looked like, which is what I think that we tend to not do, because we get to a place where we're just so busy trying to refute the improper communication that we miss the message. And men and women do it. The typical thing is men stonewall. We go quiet, and then y'all get mad at us for going quiet and not communicating, but quiet is communicating. And we get upset at y'all for getting emotionally and verbally vomiting on us, when that is communicating too. So we have to learn how to come to the table and say and state our needs in a way that does not harm, injure, disrespect, dishonor the other person.
You almost had me quoting a little ad from earlier. That does not honor. But you're right, though. You're right.
So, and it's hard. I think, what, again, just like, on the previous post talking about money, like to realize again why we do that. Our defensive is, number one, it hurts. Like it hurts to have somebody talk crazy to you, or it hurts to have somebody stonewall you when you are reaching out for them. And this is supposed to be your safe place or your person who you can be vulnerable with. But at the same time, we also have to understand that we all come with the level of dysfunction. We all come with the level of pain and trauma that we have to unwind and in our mind and figure it out. Like
you have to be mindful of your person's triggers, and while being mindful of the triggers, we have to be willing to forgive at the same time, because we are still very human in this experience with each other. You know what I mean? Because like people yell. Like we're not going to sit here on the scoop and say that you're not ever going to yell with your spouse. That's one of the things that my therapist had to make sure that I understood. Like arguing happens. It's healthy. You are supposed to argue with your spouse to a certain degree. If you're going to do life, there's going to be some things that you and your spouse are going to argue about. How you argue is the thing. That's the thing that causes trauma. So once you've identified what things are your off-limit things, whether that be subjects, whether that be levels, whether that be certain words, whatever that thing is, you identify those things and you do your damnedest to avoid those things. You know what I mean? Not saying that you won't ever tippy toe over there to that line, but when you do, you're supposed to come back and be accountable for that thing because you've already understood that this is one of those out of bounds spaces. Yep. And that is how I think arguing can stay in a healthy space. Well, that is how I learned that arguing can stay in a safe place because you have to be respectful of that. You've got to be respectful of it. You can't be so wrapped up in your emotions or your feeling of it being right or whatever the case may be, vindication or however you need to go about it, that you forget that at the end of it, unless this is the last argument,
then go for the jugular.
I'm just saying though, like unless you expect this to be the last argument, why would you go for so hard that you're gonna have to be every time you argue? Now you have to bring it. Oh, and remember what? Like why?
And not recognizing that every time you do that, you are going to have to do the work to make the repair.
It's making it harder and harder to trust again, to be vulnerable again, for me to let my guard down with you, for me to get to that place where we're not arguing, where I can just come and feel like talking.
Absolutely. And you don't want to do that. Making the repair is hard.
Yeah.
So good discussion. I think we just have to. I think we have to. Again, I'm just saying more grace.
Yeah.
Apply more.
I'm seeing more grace too. I agree.
Apply more grace
and more words. You should have gave us more words.
You know, men do stuff like that on purpose. Like
I know.
I fully knew where that post was going. I had it. I said, I got time today. Let me.
Yeah, you did too, because you replied to each and every person with that good rebuttal. I was like, see, I'm through with him. He ain't finna hit me with this copy paste. No, I would hit him in the inbox if we really got to talk about this. I got questions.
And you know, and the funny part is, it's not funny part, but the difficult in the relationship, like a lot of times you don't really know that you're doing it until like you've done it a few times, and the person is finally like, especially a person like in their example, the Nipsey and that is usually not gonna tell you got to stop doing that. Like they're gonna give you time, but so you have to recognize, am I coming to this argument well?
And there's subtle things that they do. You don't have to yell at a person to let them know you need to get that together. Like if I just walk off from you in the middle of you doing your thing, I disengage. Oh, okay. And I'm going about my business. You know what I mean? I do that enough times where you sitting here arguing with yourself. You're not gonna follow me around my house on no met. Like, listen. You know what I mean? Like
I've seen some do it too. Follow you and talk to your back. You like talk to you through the door. Like, I'm like, ooh.
I can see Nip being one of them. I'm just going to disengage. And her being so reliant on engaging, whether it be positive or negative, that after a time is going to be something that's going to settle with her. And I also want to say that I think that she's not going to go in super great detail, especially when this particular interview happened, about when Nick yelled at her. Absolutely. You know what I mean? But if we are all crazy to think he was who he was and never raised his voice to Lauren.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? So like, I'm not gonna, put him on this pedestal simply because he's passed away. Because like I said earlier, I know guys like Nip. You know what I mean? They will only let that go to a certain point before they check it to where oh, okay, now it might have to be quarterly, maybe every 6 months, maybe every so often you get that reminder, but it's gonna happen. And that's not saying he put his hands on her or nothing like that, because a man with that energy does not need to do all that. It only takes a little reminder, and
it's a look. Okay, that's enough.
That's enough.
Yeah. And again, he has anyway. All right, we've talked about this. So. Oh, yes.
Made me want to slide over to my agenda. Yes. What are we talking about? Oh, yes.
Can a woman turn a man off by being too independent? Can a woman turn a man off by being too independent?
I think independence is sexy. I think the attitude that often accompanies independence is what turns men off. I think a woman who comes with her resume and her bullet points and all of her accolades and accomplishments and all of the things that I've done to become this amazing, awesome woman that you should be awesome. I mean, that you should be honored to have on your arm and all of that, that gets to be a bit much. That's a bit much for females, for women. Like women don't like that among women, even. Like, girls, sit down. We know, okay. You a boss. Okay, yeah. And that's not hating. It's just like we see you. You know what I mean? Let us know you so that we don't have to do all that. So I think it could absolutely be a turnoff for men, if that is the attitude that you bring to independence. But you being able to successfully sustain yourself to the degree that you're not going to be asking me to put something on your light bill, or you not needing to get out of this extreme amount of debt if I want to move into the next stage of life with you, for you to be able to budget something, for you to be able to invest something, for you to be able to bring something to this proverbial table that we talk about so much, is sexy as hell for the average man, especially now that we're moving into this 50-50, we going Dutch, coffee date, all this other mess that we talking about these days. I'm like, you can't have one and then not like the other. So I think we got to boil this down to the attitude attached to this independence is what turns men off. That's what the two is. It's not independence. It's being all in your face with all this extra stuff.
Yeah. The only thing I would change about what you said is some men. There are some men who know wouldn't care about that attitude because they just wouldn't. Mm-hmm. But I think the majority of men would be like, yeah, nah. Yeah. Like that attitude, I can't fool with that. That's ain't nobody trying to deal with that. But there are some men who would. So
yeah. I think a man wants to be in collaboration with his woman, not competition. I think over and over and over again, that is pretty much what it's boiled down to. I want to build with a woman. I want to create something. I want to do something. That is a collaboration. That is not a competition. I don't want you outweighing, sitting here tit for tatting me with our accomplishments. We all add into the same pot long term if that's our goal. Mm-hmm. So, but that attitude that comes with that often makes it feel competitive versus collaborative.
Absolutely. Listen, I can't, you summed that up very well. Mm. I don't have to,
there's levels to it, ladies. There's levels.
Absolutely. Oh, this is mine.
This one was the fun one.
This was fun. Mm-hmm. All right. So the meme says, when she tells you she ain't in the mood, but then you hear a vibrating noise. So my question was, ladies and gentlemen, let's talk about this. I've counseled couples where one spouse does or has done this, and it usually comes down to the spouse is no longer able to emotionally connect with the other person, not that they don't have sexual urges. How do you handle this? How do you talk to your spouse about being disconnected? If you've experienced this, how did you fix it?
So I agree that there could be a disconnect emotionally there. There could be something that has happened that makes it so they're having trouble connecting sexually. At the same time, I want to say that she could also just not be in the mood for all of that. She True. Might want 3 minutes and she's back to her life.
True.
And going about her business. So I don't think it's always that big a deal. Or in the same thing for when a man decides to do his thing, and doesn't necessarily want to go through all of whatever he's got to go through for the other person. You know what I mean? Like, masturbation is for self. So if you, at that point in time, do not feel like covering another self, then that could be where you are. Now I think the frustration and the issue comes in when that becomes more consistent than the time that you are actually connecting. Now, while you could be frustrated, you might be a little pissed off when, you come forward and she's like, nah, I'd rather not. And then you find out that she just rather not with you in that moment. Then you're that's fair that you might feel some type of way about that. But I don't always think that it's time to super dissect the relationship or something's wrong with her. There's something lacking because of that, because sexuality and our desires and needs and things like that will vary even throughout the day, So, and I know especially for women, we're talking about vibrators, no knock to men who use, but that's primarily a woman. So this is kind of focused that that's the situation. So there's all kinds of different things that could come into play there. But I think if this is happening consistently, where there's no connection that's happening, this is always a no. But you go into this toy instead, or porn instead, or whatever the case may be, then yeah, that's something that we need to work through. We need to get down through there and figure out why is it that we can't find ourselves back to this where I do that for you.
How do we do that? Like, what are some of the things that you would if that was happening, that you would tell somebody, that like how we approach this conversation?
So if I were the person that had disconnected and was choosing to have the toy versus my partner, I would probably come to my partner and say, I know that you noticed that you and I are not connecting in the way that we used to. I want to fix that. We need to fix that. I recognize what that's doing. This is why. And I think those are those times where you have to suck it up and you have to be brutally honest. If you really want to fix something, these are the times that you have to lay it out on the table and say your real reasons why, because otherwise you're manipulating your partner to send them down this imaginary rabbit hole to fix something, and they do not have a map, don't have a flashlight, don't have a compass, don't have a clue as to how to get back to you. I didn't want that to rhyme on purpose, y'all, but it just happened to work that way. But like, seriously, we often do this game because we just don't want to say what the thing is, for whether it be we're ashamed or, we're afraid, or, whatever that is. But we have to, if we expect to ever really, 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 ladies, be fulfilled sexually, we have got to be honest with ourselves and with our spouses. Like, we have to be, because it's hurting us. That's where a lot of our trauma is coming from. If you ever do any type of work into chakras and how our bodies are made and how we hold and move energy around, we have done ourselves, our children, our families, our communities a disservice by not being more sexually healthy. So you have to have these conversations with your spouses as to what your needs are, your actual real life in your body needs. You have to. And I think that's how you have to kind of have that conversation. You started by being honest. You started by talking to yourself first and saying, look, is we ain't. And be committed to whatever it is that you decide.
Yeah. So I'll take the other side. If I'm the person who's recognizing my partner, if I'm the guy sitting in the chair, listening, hearing the vibrating noise of stuff, I think I would approach it. First of all, I would be honest, I wouldn't approach sex at all. I would just say, hey, listen, I know we're off. We are emotionally not I would just approach it from, what are the things that you're missing? I wouldn't bring sex into it. I would try to restore a space of fun. Like, let's get out, let's do some stuff together so that we can just, we can just talk. We can just be together. So that way the emotional connection, well, not even so much, but the emotional, the pump can be primed.
Yeah.
So that when it's time to have the discussion about where we're missing each other, that we can have that well. Because I think that takes, if you're to the point where you're disengaging sexually, especially if she's still clearly having sexual urges, then that means that there is something that she does not feel comfortable saying, or something that she's probably or could have been saying for a while, or doesn't know how to say, or it's dug up some trauma that she's afraid to bring to you. That I just need you to open up your.
Now you childish.
Yeah, that thing
childish.
You gonna mess up their moment. But then, so to have that conversation, and then at that point, now we can start talking about where the connection is. I've seen this. I've actually, I've counseled couples where this is a thing. And I've counseled couples where this is a thing, and it's been where it went on for years and it was never addressed. And it takes work to undo that, because again, the longer it is, the deeper it is, and the deeper it is, the more you got to excavate to get them back to that place. So
I like your approach to this, and I like that. I thought it was interesting how we both came at it differently. I was more direct about it, and how you were more indirect about it. But I think that is appropriate in a way where it comes to how you approach sex. Because as a woman, I would not be as receptive if the initial conversation was, well, why are you doing that versus this? Yes.
Like vibrating versus having sex.
Yeah. You know what I mean? Like that would be like, oh, so why are we getting straight to that? Like, because like you said, especially for like a lot of the times there are other things that are possibly missing that would be able to prime me for that conversation. Now, the kicker for what you really said that made that key, as opposed to just because what a lot of men hear when they hear that is, oh, so now I got to take her out some more. I got to do some more things with her. Now I got to do all this other stuff to get her ready to have sex. No, you were getting ready to have a conversation. You were opening up lines. You were making it easier. You were showing that we still have an intimate connection aside from when we're naked. That leaves a safe space for you to be okay and be like naked with me that does not require sex, and tell me what it is that can get us back there. That's the piece that's often missing. Folks here, well, you got to remind her who you are, blah, 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 what you have, take her out, do a bunch of stuff, spend a lot of money, and at the end of the night, you sitting in the car looking at her like, so.
Yeah, no, that's not it. We gonna,
you know what I mean? And
we
she's
have sex
like,
now?
so, because we definitely had a nice time, but we still haven't addressed the thing. The thing. So that is what makes your example so much different than what a lot of folks do. You miss a whole part of, you still have to have that conversation.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And it doesn't take, it could be a drive.
Mm-hmm.
Get in the car and y'all just, turn on whatever y'all listen to and just, have karaoke in the car. Like, it doesn't cost money to do that. Just, well, except for gas, but I mean, it doesn't it doesn't take a whole lot of money is the point. And it's not really a financial thing at all. It's just a slowing down.
Yep.
It's slowing down. Okay, let's see what okay, now let's get into it at that point. Because I think one of the things that we miss, or one of the things that's really easy for us to fall into, is the routine, the daily routine. How was your day? Oh, your day was, how was work? How was work? Okay, cool. What we doing with the kids tomorrow? Okay, well, like it's the bullet
checking the box
checklist of things and then after so long, we've completely disconnected, not realizing that the connection is built and maintained through verbal, through interaction, through the body language that comes with us talking about what's going on, not just how was work, all the bills paid, what we having for dinner, who picking up the kids tomorrow. All right, good night. Let's go to bed. Like,
and the sex. Oh, and throw that in. You know what I mean? And then every once in a while, like,
it's Tuesday. It's time for me to give you some. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
do that and realize no,
that's not it.
No,
this can't be life. It's not. It ain't. It shouldn't be.
Yeah. All right. Oh shoot, 7 minutes. 2 more. Okay. We probably don't get to this last one. Maybe not. We'll see. You want the truth? Many men don't actually view women as human beings. They see women as objects for sexual gratification, cooks and cleaners who are there to tend to their every need. That's why a guy will buy lunch and expect sex. He has done the most. You should be impressed. He will expect his girl to come home tired from work, cook and pamper him, and do homework with the kids as he chills and waits to demand for sex. Because guess what? Women don't get tired. Men do. Many men simply don't see women as people who have hopes and dreams and aspirations. That's why they don't understand when women are demanding to be heard and respected. How can he respect someone he sees as an object and not a human being?
You know what? Because they were careful about not saying all or all of that other stuff. Like, I can say many men don't. I can say that there's some truth to this. Not all men, not a majority of men, not all black men or most black, like, none of those other things, but like, yeah. And if you aren't one of these guys, this shouldn't bother you. This shouldn't bother you, because guys like this too. Guys like this. They might not be in your crew. You don't hoop with them on Saturdays. You don't vacation with these guys, but these guys. These guys. So yeah.
Yeah, I think, I mean, I don't see how we can grow up. We can honestly admit that we live in a patriarchal society and disagree with that. This just happens.
We wouldn't have these fights that we have. We wouldn't have these discussions that we have if this was not true for a good hunk of some folks.
Yep. I do. I do.
Yeah.
I do think, I am glad, to be honest, though. This is one of the reasons why I'm glad that people are not getting married as fast.
Mm.
Because we talk a lot about like people aren't getting married anymore. Why not? Or this making sure that something like this is not who you're with is a reason why. I'm glad we don't. I think that you should go into, if you go into marriage with someone, you should know that they are just as committed, that both people are just as committed to the other person's hopes and dreams and aspirations as they are to their own. And if you are with somebody or dating somebody who is not as committed to your hopes, dreams, and aspirations as they are to their own, then you should not be with that person. Because marriage is the coming together of two, not the one overtaking the other and the other. That's called enmeshment and codependency. And that's not what you want. But it's
bad words.
Yeah. So you need to make sure that your person is committed. And when I say it's committed, I don't mean just in word, but indeed, what is he doing? What is she doing to help push your hopes, your dreams, and aspirations? What is he doing to push your hopes, your dreams, and aspirations? So, yeah, I do think it's true. Guys will buy a woman lunch and expect sex. Like that's a real thing. And think you should be impressed, especially if you take you to someplace nice. Spend more than $100. Absolutely.
These are the guys you end up flexing on. That we talked about earlier. This is that type of guy.
Yeah. But the guys that's calling the guy who go to work a simp. So, but yes, it happens.
I cannot.
But again, that's why I said take your time. Don't. This is not the person that you are with, and dare I say, if this is the person you are with, run.
If you are this person, stop it.
If you are this person, stop. Because your life will be much happier. But the reality is, your life will be much happier with the person who is happy, and they are more willing to be a partner for you when they know that you're a partner for them.
Agreed. Wholeheartedly.
Whoops, didn't even do that. I'm pressing all the wrong buttons tonight.
It's okay. You made it though.
I'm tired. I must be tired. All right, we got 2 minutes. You want to cover this last one, or you want to wait? Because this is actually a good one.
How do you say we got 2 minutes? I got 9:48 on mine.
You stop at 9:50.
Oh. Since when? We have it on the agenda to stop at 9:50. We never stop it. You see, I'm over confused. Like, standards that we stop at 9:50.
I'm trying to stick to it tonight.
I'm sorry.
This was a good one. That's why I don't want to rush this.
Oh, okay. Well, then we can wait.
I don't want to rush this. We'll start with this one next week. Okay. This one. This is this is the one that taught. This is the crux of why we do what we do.
Oh, okay. So, we'll wait.
Yeah. So we'll wait on that one. All right. Good show tonight.
I finally got the live to share to my page, by the way, just in case anybody still wondered. I did get it to share.
It only took how many times?
Way too many. There will be many posts to delete when the show is over.
Hey, look, I'm pressing wrong button. We all over the place tonight. That's all right. Yeah, that's all good. All right, what's your final thoughts?
I want to say thank you. If any of y'all happen to come out this past Sunday to the Back to My Roots fashion show, if you happen to support the Back to My Roots brand, and you happen to have your face in the place this last Sunday, on behalf of myself as one of the VIP bag sponsors, and on behalf of my good sis, Miss Lakeitha Dukes, I know that she would co-sign me in saying this. We appreciate you so much for your support, your energy, and all of the love that was showed on Sunday. If you have caught any of the pictures, any of the videos, you know it was lit on this past Sunday. So one of the big things about the Scoop is that we always promote small businesses. We always want to give them a platform. Events such as the Back to My Roots fashion show are in perfect alignment with what we do here, as far as being able to provide a space for the culture to come together and be safe and have a good time and brag on each other and show off what our good work, our sweat, our equity, our effort is putting into the community. So thank you for your support. Continue to support these brands and the Scoop, because we actually are out here doing some work, y'all. Like we ain't gonna be able to say these little t-shirt brands, this little podcast, this little none of that. Like we out here doing big things. So this is kind of a small soapbox, but a big thank you on behalf of all of the small brands that each and every one of you reach out and touch weekly by watching, by sharing, by engaging, by spending your money with us. So thank you, thank you, thank you.
Absolutely. So we're gonna talk. Y'all want to talk about how Q was trying to shut down the show in this white outfit. I was like, okay.
Listen, that outfit, all of those pictures, all of those styles were courtesy of Keitha and Landy. Alandria Styles, of Virtuous Styles, another business. Okay. Alandria is a beautiful human who is touched by God. Okay, when it comes to this styling situation, what sis can do with a t-shirt, a hoodie, a sleeve, a pant leg, okay, what she can do with fabric and an idea is just out of this world. So yeah, that white outfit was courtesy of Landy. And that particular performance I was also I'm blessed with a sister who recognizes my other gifts and allowed me to recite my own poem. The poem, if you get to see anything in the white, if it's a video, that poem that you hear over the background, that is an original poem. Your girl writes, y'all. So she heard that and was like, yep, that's opening the show. So again, we are always showcasing each other's talents and gifts and providing space and room for us to do our thing. So thank you, bro. I was trying not to do all that today, but it was a fun experience. Y'all know the fashion shows when I get to put, I get to stunt on them a little bit. I don't do it every day. I get to do the business casual on the day to day, but that fashion show, sis shows out, and I enjoy every second of it. So yeah.
I said, all right. Listen, I'm the big brother, so I'm like looking like, okay, who in that audience? Because if somebody say something crazy, like I know my brother's there, so I'm not
you
worried.
wouldn't have been able to hear him over Michelle and Kelly and all that commentary.
No, you would not. But I was like, listen, I got to make sure because somebody do something crazy here. Hey, y'all, look at this.
Oh no, you didn't. No, you didn't.
Killing. She was killing.
I was queening on this Sunday, y'all. Listen, and when she put that wrap, listen, we have an amazing team that comes on through and takes good care of us when we get ready. So the last 2 years I've worn head wraps. This particular show, when she wrapped my head, like I literally got God bumps as she was doing it. And I said it to myself. I said, this is what I was supposed to be doing. Like I was supposed to be some queen somewhere where I sat down every morning and I had some wonderful auntie with warm grandma hands coming and wrapping my, like, because when she cinched that bad boy, it was like the ancestors cinched me up, okay? And Fleming had me together on Sunday. So yeah, it is a family experience. Like it is everything. If you've never been, please come. February, the last Sunday in February is the big show. Okay, the fall show is growing, it's getting big, but honey, the February show is where it goes down. Yeah.
All right.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you.
Yeah. So
we ain't gonna have me blushing on today. I wasn't expecting you to put the doggone picture up there. He did though. He inboxed me before I got home. Okay, sis.
Okay. I said, I heard him. Sure. I always say I'm coming. I'm one of these years I'm gonna get to be there. So but yeah, everybody look nice. I always Keitha does a great job. So and her team. And one of the things I enjoy is every time I look, I see a lot of the same people, and I'm like, that means a lot as a
It's the
leader to have
tribe.
the same people committed to you, because that's what it is. It's a commitment to you. It's not necessarily a commitment to the brand, like that's to the leader. So shout out to Lakeitha for being a leader that can continue to keep our tribe together. So um, I don't have any really final thoughts stuff about my book. No.
Yes.
Thank you to everybody who tuned in. I greatly appreciate you. Thank you for your comments, for your feedback. Yeah, for continued support, for your shares. We appreciate you, y'all. Keep it up. If you have not hit the share button, hit the share button. If you missed the part, go back and watch the replay. You can also, again, like she said, catch us on YouTube. And y'all join us tomorrow on Clubhouse. It's going to be a very good conversation. I think it's just me, you, and Jamie tomorrow. So,
Oh yeah.
I think it's going to be me, you, and Jamie. So that's going to be a very interesting conversation.
You'll be all right.
I'll be fine. I'll be fine. As long as she don't start busting me around, we'll be all right. So we'll be good.
You get your act right on in the clubhouse, so you okay.
Listen, I've been trying to get my act right on in real life too. So
y'all tune in to see if Win makes it through the clubhouse tomorrow.
She tried to keep me together. She tried to keep me together. So I pray my strength in the Lord. Nah, but if you do need a invite to Clubhouse, I do have, I think, 2 left. So
I'm sure I have
Android, I'm sure you do. And Android people can actually get on there now. So yeah, they let the lower half in. I said what I said.
Good night, y'all.
So do I, Jamie. So do I, Shanae. So
don't save him. We love Jamie, but no, we ain't gonna let that go.
All right, y'all. Y'all have
don't
a good
condone
night.
that. The Scoop does not support Winfred's last statements before the I love Jamie. We don't support that. We don't support that.
Good night, Mama.
Good night, Mama.